What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Schmeck88 channel. Today's video is a video I honestly thought I would never be able to make because they would never bring it back, but here she is. She is the Recon Expert, and she is finally back in the item shop after over 900 days of being absent from it, I believe, and she is finally back. If you want to pick her up using code Schmeck, I would greatly appreciate it, but at the very least, make sure you do have somebody's code in there. And yeah, I just cannot believe this skin is finally back. It's not the most overwhelmingly cool skin ever, but I do think it is really cool. I think there's, a lot behind it for being rare for so long. So I think, it's still a valued skin, even though, it's back and anybody can get it. And I'm still, excited to have it. So without further ado, let's take a look at her. First things first is that she has two edit styles with her hat on and her hat off. I personally like the hat on because it adds another little bit of detail, and it also adds a little bit of yellow, as you can see on the front of her hat there. So although it is kind of a stretch, you can add a little bit of yellow to your combos and it'll work really well. But she kind of is a blank canvas with gray pants and a white shirt. She's pretty plain. So I do think you can add colors to her and get away with it and have really good combos with different colors bouncing off of each other, even if it isn't necessarily that yellow on her hat. So without further ado, let's look at some back blings on her. First up, we've got the Arroyo pack. This is the Arctic camo edit style. I really like that a lot. Only thing is that I wish this was a little bit smaller. Like, they could have made this thing half as thick and it still would have looked great, but it's whatever. It is what it is. Next up is the cuff case. This is one of my favorites on her. Next up, we've got Elim. You could add some orange or some blue to your pickaxe. This back bling actually counts your kills for you. Then we've got the gold dagger pack. This one really looks good. So it's got the gray and then the gold on the knife bounces off that hat. And although you can't see the yellow on the hat in game, it still looks really good. Next up, we've got the high caliber. The chrome doesn't match her silvers and grays perfectly, but I still think it looks really good. We've got the Ready Ruck. I think this one matches very well. We've got the Bad Attitude. She doesn't really have any black on her. Like, her boots aren't even black. So, I tried to put like minimal black in these combos, but this one's got gray on it too, so I think it really works. And then we've got the Ball Bling. You can use any of these edit styles and they're going to look pretty good. Ooh, the gold even looks pretty good, because her headband on her hat is a little bit gold, I would say. And that one doesn't even look bad. So any of the styles on that back bling are going to work. Backboard, I would probably just use the black, and I'm not going to flip through all of these, but backboard looks good. The Stark satchel looks okay, but I just hate how blindingly bright white it is. But, it is what it is. We've got Deadpool's katanas. It's like kind of a faded black, like her boots and like the bottom half of her pants. So I think this one works really well on her. Of course, we've got the wolf pack, get the little bit of gold on there to bounce off the hat. That's a really great one. We've got the chow down, the little doggy bowl. The floppy, the little bunny. And I think this one looks really good because the colors on the floppy back bling are also, imperfect and kind of faded like they are on the skin. We've got the hench hauler. This one matches really well. A suggestion I would make to you guys would be to use those pickaxes with this skin, and it'll look really good. And the back bling. And obviously when you equip and unequip, it takes them in and out of the back bling, which is a really cool feature. Next up, we've got the trash lid. This is the one I actually used this morning in the Benji Fishy Cup. I ended up getting 147 points, which I was pretty proud of, and had fun playing it, even though I was on 120 ping on EU servers. But it was a good time. I had fun. Next up, we've got the airflow and the grinning ghoul. This one isn't quite as perfect of a white as like the Stark satchel. It kind of matches her shirt really well. So I would definitely say that this one looks really good with her. Better than the Stark satchel, probably, if you want a skull on your back. We've got the gold chain and the back channel. That's it for back blings. Now let's take a look at pickaxes. First up, we've got the diamond jack. That one's really good. You could add a little bit of red to her back bling too and get away with it. Get away with it even better and look better. Raised quarterstaff is next. This thing just goes with anything, really. Kind of matches her vibe with like the tape on the handle looking rugged like that. Next up, we've got the Stark splitter. Again, the white is too bright, but it's not overwhelming. It's not an overwhelming amount of white on the pickaxe, so I think you can get away with it. Next up is the bunker basher. Just gray, you know, matches her vibe. Gray and the white. Got the cliffhanger. Real nice and simple. A little bit of yellow to bounce off her hat. Looks really good in my opinion. We've got the crowbar. Crowbar goes with like everything. No more needs to be said. We've got the steel carrot. The specialist pickaxe, and it's going to show me the default color. Yeah. We use the Arctic camo color. That's going to look really good with her. Next up, we've got the Reaper. If you want to go for like an OG classic kind of sweaty vibe, the Reaper goes really well with her. Next up, we've got the Lug Axe. Again, matches her colors, that gray. The Grill Count. I like this one, it's just so big, honestly. Kind of throws me off a little bit, but it is what it is. Next up, we've got the Faded Frame. I'm not sure what this pickaxe is supposed to be, but I really like it with the Recon Expert. We've got the Steel Shadow with the logo on there matching her hat. Although the colors don't match, I would have thought, you know, they would have brought this pickaxe out to match her a little better since they put the same logo on it. The Driver is what I was using in my tournament earlier, the Benji Fishy Cup. The Fork Knife, which I can't show you with the emote, but that's going to look great, I promise. And then we've got the Icebreaker. This is a phenomenal one for her because it really does look like something she would carry. I'm not exactly sure what she is exactly. Some sort of soldier, I assume, but the Icebreaker is definitely going to be one of the best to use with her. Moving on to gliders. First up, we have the Airlift, kind of a faded, imperfect white, so it's going to look really good with her shirt. We've got the Crazy 8, obviously in the black or the white edit styles you probably want to go with, and the white is probably going to match her shirt way better. We've got the Skelefish, again with that imperfect kind of white, going to look really good with her shirt. White Squall is more of a perfect white, but I still think it'll look really good with her. Give it a shot, see what you think. We've got the Custom Flyer, going to look really good with her with this Arctic color, the Arctic camo color. The Shadow Stalker. I encourage all you guys to do your challenges for this thing because I'm really impressed by it and I really like it a lot, and I think you guys will too. I really think it's nice and simple enough, but it has detail, and it's not the biggest glider ever. I mean, it's not small, but I think this is a really good glider, and I definitely suggest you guys give it a shot with Recon Expert, especially with the logo on there, matching the logo on her hat. It just feels right and seems like it goes with her. So again, I suggest you guys do your challenges and get this, and I think a lot of you guys are going to like it. Moving on to umbrellas, we've got the One Shot because, duh, One Shot goes with everything. This is pretty much like 99% of the time the single one alone, the glider I use almost all the time. So definitely give One Shot a try with her. Next up, we've got the Snowfall. It's kind of a more perfect, like flat white, but I think you could get away with this one, especially if you added a little bit of blue to her back bling, like maybe the Snowflake or something like that. I think it would definitely look good. Anyway, next up we've got the umbrella. Obviously that, you know, faded silver, gray, whatever it is, chrome, whatever. I think that'll look really good with her. And that little bit of yellow on the handle is going to look really good with a little bit of yellow on her hat. Even though you can't see it on her hat while you're playing, it does match, I promise. And then we've got the Webrella, obviously the white and black, the original version of One Shot before we had the all black umbrella. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video there. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like the video, comment if you want to, subscribe to the channel, and drop that post notification bell so you never miss another upload. Follow the socials linked below in the description, and I hope you guys pick up Recon Expert, especially if you use code Schmeck. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'm very excited to see how she plays into the storyline this weekend. I assume she has some sort of role in the live event. I think that's just my guess, honestly, since she has the same logo, you know, as the, you know, cosmetics we just got. So that's just my guess that she's going to have something to do with it. And there has to be some kind of reason she came back, right? Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And a couple days, time will tell what role Recon Expert has in the storyline. So until then, I will catch you guys in the next one.